Hey, York! Welcome to our podcast where our international students share their stories and experiences of life in the UK. I'm Naveen, a fourth year biology student from India, specializing in genetics, and your host for today. We'll be chatting about student well being and how to look after yourself at uni and, save yourself from homesickness and support specifically present for international students. Today I'm joined by Anna and Chino.
Hi everyone, my name is Anna Verma and I'm from India and I'm currently pursuing masters in data science.
Hey everyone, I'm Chino. I'm from the Philippines, from Manila, and I'm currently studying global marketing with the University of York.
We know that being away from home without your usual support system can sometimes be a bit tricky. But here at York, we want to help you in any way possible. So, first of all, how important is well being to you as a student?
Okay, so as a student, well being is the utmost important thing for me. It impacts on our physical, mental, and emotional social health. So, if you're not well and you are doing and stressing upon something, you can't be productive,
Now, that's completely true because if you're not productive, it's really hard to study.
right?
And if you're not feeling well, you don't have that usual support, your group of friends to rely on. It might be incredibly hard to get used to it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I feel like how you feel definitely impacts a lot of the aspects of your life. I think we can all relate to that morning that we feel a bit down and we're just like, yeah, I think I'll just stay in bed. You know what I mean? So I think looking after your well-being is really important as a student. Helps you, go about your day, be as productive as you can, and make the most out of your time in university.
That's completely true. Like for me, at least, when I was looking for universities, one of the things I always thought about was what's the type of support that's offered at the university system. I remember York was always highly ranked for student satisfaction, the support networks which were present in my department. So I wanted to ask you, Chino, was the well-being support offered by York something you looked at before coming to university? Was it something essential to you?
As an international student, I was more looking at like going to a different country, getting my degree from like a really good university. But that's not to say that it didn't play a factor, because the more that I started interacting with the university through like the virtual events, I could see that they put a lot of significance and like looking after the well-being of their students. Like I remember as early as like the first few virtual events, they had international students talk about their experiences, kind of manage expectations and give you like tips on what it's like being an international student and what to do when you get here. So definitely seeing that from the university just kind of helped me, be at ease with choosing where I was going, because they really showed that they really cared about their student.
And Anna, did this kind of support help you with integrating into the university environment?
When I was back at home, so I was kind of concerned about being homesick because I am kind of a person who just runs to the home like every month or so. So I actually saw there were a few supports offered by the university, which was one was Open Door, where they have mental health practitioners, and another one was 24/7 support, which is like an app, which is a Talk Campus app. So I just wanted to make sure that there is something which could help me. But the good thing is that I didn't use it yet. I am really good with my friends and networking that I feel really comfortable here.
Some of the other types of support which I actually use in my university life was how to find friends, how to connect with people, and something was Student Connect, which was really cool for me. I was able to make so many friends through that program. And now that you're at university, our plane has flown, we have landed at York. Have you been able to use any of the support systems that are present in the university?
I would say that not me, but once I came across one friend of mine who were actually having anxiety issues, because I knew that there was this open door thing. So I suggested it to him and he actually went there. He had sessions with them and it actually helped him a lot. Now he's way better. He's doing really well in academics also.
You can always see that well-being has really helped the people around you.
Yeah, you
And
can help anyone in trouble.
yeah. And it might not always be well-being support in the sense of mental health or your physical health, but it might be through, say, you're worried about your careers, or you're
Yeah.
worried about something after that. You're worried more about, hey, I'm in the UK, I'm all alone, I just arrived, I don't really know about, part-time jobs, I don't know about employment and all that kind of support. Have you been able to avail any support with regards to employment, Chino?
It's great that you mentioned that, because one of the services that I did use was the career service through Handshake. So coming here, I was like really unfamiliar with all the processes. So, being a bit clueless, went to the career center, asked for advice. They helped me get started with everything. So it was really nice because they really took what I said into account. It wasn't just like a generic response to like maybe a problem that like is too general, but really catered to what I was experiencing. Aside from that, I also did have some exposure to like my personal supervisor. She was very helpful, kind of like a mom, to be honest, like away from home. And yeah, I feel like aside from that, you did mention like the department well-being offices as well. So in the School of Business and Society, we've had several meetings with them, and they've always just been kind enough to like keep reminding us that the door is always open. There's always someone who's like willing to help you out, and I think that's important for students to hear that there's someone who's gonna be there if they need some help.
That's really beautifully put, Gino. I think that's one of the best answers I've ever heard.
Thanks, man.
And with regards to international support, I'd like to tell all the people out there that if you come on an airport collection date in Manchester, we have a pickup service which will take you straight to York, so you don't have to worry much about transport that much. Anna, you said that homesickness was something that you were really worried about. How did you find adapting to university life away from, home? And what were your top tips that you'd be giving to, say, any student who's hearing this podcast to help manage themselves?
I would say that the events in the initial days of our college really helped me, because in the initial days, whatever events happened, I made so many friends out there. I was talking to every person I could meet, and till now, if I see them, they always say hi to me, which really makes me feel this place more like a home. So I'm not homesick. This is a very big thing for me, because I have never stayed away from my home for more than 1 month, and now it's been almost 3 months that I'm here and I'm not homesick at all. For me, top tips I would say is be busy, like stay busy all the time, upskill yourself, do courses, do things that can benefit you next year. Apart from that, be like, find your passion. Like mine is traveling, mine is like listening to music, listen to stand-up comedies and everything. So I just, whenever my mind goes back at home, I do these things to make it feel better.
The pursuit of passion and skills always keeps us happy.
Yeah.
And Chino, you come from the Philippines. It's so far away. The food is completely different. The
Extremely
weather's
far
completely
away.
different. How have you
Extremely
been able to
different.
cope with homesickness?
No, yeah. I guess one of the first things that I was really concerned about went as far as like asking my recruiter, like, how's the food? Because I think there's like this general myth that British food is not the best, but it is. Bangers and mash, mushy peas. In terms of like homesickness, food might be one of the things, but I feel like if you just give it a chance, like it really just like kind of grows on you. There's not a day that I live without Marmite.
Seriously, Chino, you're like Marmite.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's honest.
To be honest, I think cooking is one of the things that keeps me really connected to my
Yeah.
home, because there are a lot of Indian supermarkets, or Asian supermarkets to be more precise, which sell a lot of produce which I would normally find in India. So many spices, so many different types of masalas, and because of that, cooking has really helped me keep in touch with my culture. It's really helped me feel more at home. To be
Yeah.
honest,
And I don't know about you guys, but is music like a big part of like what you miss
Yeah.
about home?
I would
Yeah.
definitely say so, because where I come from, the music's completely different. We have the big old Bollywood and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely like every now and then I have my own like Filipino playlist that I play with. I like playing music, so I'm a guitar player myself. We have this music scheme. Did you guys know about that? That
They can borrow the instruments.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
really?
I was so like
Okay.
amazed because like the first week I was here, I was like, I already missed my guitar. So I'm like, and then suddenly that like newsletter comes up like, hey, we have a landing library that you can like sign up to, and I was like, oh wow. So went there in one of my first weeks, picked up this acoustic guitar, and I've just been playing that in my room.
If you're searching for a place to play music, and I'm pretty sure a lot of musicians who are coming from all around the world would like to hear this, the Music Society, as a member of the Music Society, you can book practice rooms for free.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
you might well consider into that. They have drums, they have guitars over there as well. So yeah.
The best thing is my accommodation has all the instruments, and you can just go and learn. You can practice there daily.
But yeah, I found a lot of people who have been able to feel more at home and, feel better about themselves through music. Music's quite a healing thing. And, what else I used to think about, something which I really missed at home initially before, when I was just moving in, I was really concerned about this, was my friend group, a support group, people you can rely on. When I was in high school, I used to always have this group of 5 people I used to always talk with. And I was like really scared. Oh man, I'm going to a new place. I'm going to make new connections. What about the old connections? How am I going to be making friends? So, how do you, like now that you'll have been here for a few months, how do you and your university friends support each other?
It was week 2, I would say. I was really cold, I was having fever, and I didn't had a blanket, and I couldn't tell my parents because they were really worried about it.
No, I
So
completely
you
relate with
know,
that.
yeah, I get it. Like, I was standing in the kitchen and I was just shivering myself out, and I was just trying to find things to eat. And then suddenly came my flatmate. She's from Bulgaria. So, like, I haven't contacted and communicated much with her. She saw me and she, like, I'm giving you my blanket right away. Just go and sleep. I'll make food for you. I was like, wow. And then another flatmate of mine came. She's from China. So she came and she said to me that, see, there is this Chinese food. If you eat this food, you will get away with the fever. So I was really overwhelmed. I was like totally in the crying mode, like, oh my God, you guys are the best flatmates ever. So yeah, that was really overwhelming for me.
To be honest, I think one of the best support networks you could get would be through flatmate support.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you sort of get like this kind of familial feeling with them once you get along well. At least I did in my second and first year. I remember when I was sick and one of my flatmates, she made me this apple crumble to like help recover. She said, this is what I used to have when I was sick. It's not the most traditional sick food, but it always
Yeah.
made me feel better. And you see that compassion, that empathy which people show. I think that's one of the strongest things about being at university.
And also that same day, one of my Indian friends from a like totally different department, and I just met her like 2-3 times. So she cooked me like Indian meal, like proper Indian meal that you might feel like home. So just eat it and you'll feel, and I actually felt better after all of this. Like, this is so much of pampering. My parents used to do it for me. So yeah, it felt home. So it felt
That's
really good.
nice. That's nice to hear that
Yeah.
your flatmates really support you. When it comes to like my flatmates, it's really nice because like the first day I was here, first time moving into Wentworth, they had like left post-it notes on the table introducing each other, and it's like it was really cute. Like, and like, it was a cupcake and everything. So like
No, it's very wholesome.
I was like, all right, I've gotten lucky with my flatmates. Like, this is gonna be a good time. And so true enough, like there's Australian girl, and then from America, and then there's like a Canadian and Chinese girl, and we all like get along, and then Indian girl, and we all get along. There are times that we've like given each other food from our home, so it feels nice to like sort of like build a community in the flat. Going outside of the flat though, one of the things that I really appreciated about my first week in New York was how far colleges would go in order to like introduce you to other people. So where I'm from in Wentworth, they had like a pub quiz night. That's where I met majority of my friends now. I think if it weren't for that event, I would have probably had like less people to like call on or like hang out with if I wanted to. I'm not saying that it's like impossible to meet people throughout the year, but just it's nice to see that the university gives you like a lot of opportunities to like meet other people as well.
And with regards to college support, I'd also like to add more about your second and third year mentors, sticks and your stims, that's what we call them here at York, using the York lingo. And these are people who will really help you move into your York accommodation when you're just moving in, or, just a little bit of a contact when you're just trying to integrate into the York environment. We are going to be reaching our final question now. Looking at yourself now, what tips would you give for anyone listening to this podcast who's planning to move to York, who's planning to move to the UK? What tips would you give to future students on how to manage their well-being at university?
Okay, so I'll start. Like, one thing that worked for me is to have a routine. Somebody told me you're not a robot. You don't have to study like 12 to 13 hours and do coding. You just study for 3-4 hours. That will be really enough. When I was back in some other city, I used to call my parents once in a day, but now it has increased to 3 or 4 times. And they are just aware of everything I do here. So I'm really connected with them more than I was in India. The third thing, I would say that like, manage your workload. If you are doing a part-time, you are cooking food, you are going out with your friends, just know when to stop and when to end it. Other thing is just enjoy the changes over here, even if it is a cultural change or any new events, any new festivals, just enjoy all of that.
So to go out and meet new people, don't overwork yourself. That's incredibly important because a lot of students out there believe that, I need to work like 20 hours a day. I need to just keep on working. And after my studies, I need to go and do a part-time job.
I would say that here the course modules are designed in such a way that you will be enjoying and you will be studying. Here it is just an assessment, and you have enough time to prepare when you are inside that time. So that was really helpful to me.
Honestly, before coming to York, I had like really done like a lot of research, like looked at Reddit and all of that stuff, just like
A man with a plan.
yeah, because then it helps to have like expectations of what you're gonna probably or most likely experience. For lack of a better term, you have like countermeasures to manage those like things that you might feel that you're gonna like have some trouble with dealing with. So if it's food, I did like research like which Asian restaurants were good in New York, or like which Asian supermarkets were there, just in case like the myth turns out to be true, which is not. Again, it's not true that British food is bad. Give it a chance, guys.
My dad did that.
Yeah.
Strangely, yeah.
No, my parents did that as well.
Have a plan. Have expectations of what you're probably going to experience. And I do agree with Anna. Once you get here, I feel like it's just really about embracing this culture that you're in. You might have some preconceived notions about certain things, but I think if you're like really open to it, you might find yourself enjoying it more than you expected to be. I mean, you're only here for like in your postgraduate, maybe just a year, and then for other undergraduates, it's 3 years. So you don't want to be spending a lot of that time just sad or like moping. Like really, just like carpe diem, seize the day.
Seize the day.
Yeah.
Keep an open mind and an open heart.
Yes.
And with that, well, that's a wrap for today. Thank you, everybody, for listening to all our stories and tips about student well-being. Well, we'll see you next time in our next episode.